Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRFirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRFirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs and on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here. We are here. We are here. It is December the 2nd, ladies and gentlemen. December the 2nd. We ain't got that long, and we're going to be at the end of 2024. I hope y'all weekend was good. Mine was cool. Mine was cool. Like I said, Saturday I did I didn't announce the stream I was supposed to do. I did Saturday. So, that's on me on that. And I announced it the next time, at least on Friday, if I'm going to do something on the Saturday. I probably won't do something this Saturday, though, because I got an event to go to and all that. I know I posted that, I think, on the community tab where I'll be an honoree, being honored at the All Black, gala. Is a real nice event. Everybody's, dressed to the nines and all of that. I went to another event. Let me give a shout out to brother Robert Hockley. Shout out to him. Went last night, me and the wife went to the G County 409 Awards last night. It was the first one. And, Hockley, he put on a good event. I like that. If you remember him, I did an interview with him about, some months ago. He was talking about his time when he was in prison. And, he got out and, he started his business, G County Apparel. He does things in the community. And so it was honoring people, in the community, doing some work there in Eastern Galveston County. And I was coming through, we are coming through to support our brother and making sure, so shout out to Hockley for that. And, see my partner Danny last night, him and his wife Monica and all of that. So yeah, it was good to see people last night. Events. Next year, Kellen always talks to me about that. I got to get outside at certain events. So y'all tell me, even locally, what's some decent events that need to go to, or maybe some people could send it to me. I don't know. Maybe certain conferences or certain ones that's, worth it at least, I'm going to say, hey, man, you probably want to go to this one just to network with people a little bit more because I'm so in the trenches about doing the work. But sometimes you got to get out there and network a little bit more with people. Sometimes people see you in this element, but I guess when they meet you, it's a little different, right? So, y'all can let me know. I know Atlanta got a lot of stuff going on, and Houston do too. But I've never really been privy of that because I'm like, hey, I'm like my grandpa always said, hey, don't go places you ain't not invited. And so that's what I don't do. But I know I'm invited to stay in the trenches and do what I do here, right? Now, when I'm in the continent, oh man, shoot, the sky's the limit. And I think that's why I made comments in the past about, well, at least in the continent, I get more love out there. Everybody say, come here, do this, do this, do this. I say, man, I don't get that in the United States. I get more love over there. So that's why I made that comment. I said, because when I'm there, man, it's nothing, a lot of things to do. Nothing but love over there. So, and I guess I'm not one to be in people's cliques too. I go places, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like cliques and all of that. I guess I'm that dude that's peeping from a corner and watching people. I'm not one to be up in people's face like that. But you talk to me, I talk to you all day long. That's just my personality. But I'm always observing the people, because especially when I don't know you, I'm like, who's that? What they got going on? I'm always observing. So, yeah. You said there's a lot happening in Detroit. Okay, well, shoot, y'all send it to me. Let me see what you got going on. Just let me see. And I'm not talking about nightclubbing and none of that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. But hey, if it's events, something cool, let me know. Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to talk about the Democrats are really infighting right now. They're infighting because of this election. Now they're saying that Kamala Harris was had $2 billion go through her hand. The numbers keep going up and up and up. At first it was $1 billion. Then they say 1.5. Now they're saying $2 billion. They all pointing fingers. The donors are mad. They like, where my money at? What you do with my bag? And all black people, I got to give you a lot of credit. Because when black people say you're not gonna get no presidency or no election, they mean business. So we're gonna talk about that tonight. Oh boy, you say go up Boulay Martin is that? Oh God. Like I said, Boulay Martin. Now that's funny. But anyway, it's Monday, so every Monday, we got to start off the Monday right. Let me find out where she at. Okay, it's Super Mayor on Monday, so let me go ahead and get Super Mayor, and we'll get back started.
Hey guys, it's Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henry, the people's mayor.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work.
What is that?
No comment. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
So this is what it's all about, guys. They don't want a black person in power. They don't want a woman in power. You ain't seen that yet. And someone so young. Everybody got to understand, God give you what you can handle. That's what God give you. He ain't going to give you more than that. As long as you can stay the course, fight the fight, and keep going, that's what we're going to do here at Thornton Township.
Clerk, what are you doing? You're out of order. You out of order. Did I call the roll? Did I say call the roll? I'm still speaking. You're out of order, Clerk Key. You out of order, Clerk Key. Like, stop. Y'all out of order. Everybody want to run stuff. Y'all don't run this house over here. Stop, please.
So now you have to listen in order to learn. Remove her.
That's what all the hate is all about. It's all about your super mayor became too powerful too quick. So rare, so unique, and that's what everybody got power. It's all about control. And I stand in the fight because I want the boys and girls of the next generation to see what it looks like to come out of controversy and to come out of all the hatred unscathed. At the end of the day, God gives the test to his strongest soldiers.
Throughout all the controversy, throughout all the drama, all the naysayers, all the haters, and I see some of y'all in the line. Let me flip the camera around so you can see them in the line. Whoop, there she go. Look, right there. Whoop, that part. But then
they'll tell you that. Then they get in a little hate group. But you in my line getting food, your kids out here bouncing in a bouncy house, you on the skate rink, all that. To actually stand in a fire while doing it. And guess what? Doing good and looking good too at the same time.
All right, y'all, that's the super mayor. And, the more and more I see Tiffany, she has a whole lot more. I follow on Facebook, so she always got something going on, even on Facebook. I mean, shoot, I can add to that to make that much longer, actually, all the antics Tiffany got going on. But she be doing her community outreach. I see that. You know, if you follow on Facebook, you'll see what I'm talking about. She does her community outreach. So let's go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, let's get into it with these Democrats. So these Democrats are just still trying to figure out what is going on. On the podcast, we talk about Joe Biden pardoning his son and all that mess. So check that out, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also, before I'll get started, the African Diaspora News Channel app. Make sure you take advantage of the Cyber Monday promotion. All you got to do is type in the code CYBER to get 25% off. Whatever, when you download the app, hit create account, choose monthly, quarterly, or yearly. You take more advantage if you do the yearly at the 25% off than a monthly, right? So just letting y'all know if you want to take advantage of that, take advantage of it ASAP. All right. So the Democrats are infighting right now. They're trying to find a new leader. They gonna hold elections for their new, chairperson here in February. They got to find a new voice or whatever, but they're still trying to figure out what in the hell happened with all this money with Vice President Kamala Harris. And none other than James Carville, the Cajun Skeletor, he's come out and he's mad about the Democrats. He's been railing against them. So we want to go and look at what he said in two different articles here. But what they're not talking about in the midst of all of this is none of this would have been a problem if they'd have won. You have to understand, Black Americans, because of you, this is why the Democrats are imploding. It's not because of white people, because white people always vote for Republicans. So that's not a deal. Hispanics, no one has depended on the Hispanic vote like that in an election. The Asian vote has not been dependent on. Asians, Hispanics, all these other groups split their vote. Black people are the only one that give the majority of votes to Democrat. And so if Black people sit it out, choose the couch in mass numbers, Democrats will always lose. If Black people that do vote for whoever they want to vote for, whether it's Trump, whoever, Democrats will lose. Democrats will never win an election in this country if Black people say, I'm not voting for you. In Georgia, they talked about this. So Trump won Georgia about 130 some odd, 150 some odd thousand votes. They said that if all the Black people that sat it out in Georgia would have came out and voted for Harris, he would not have won Georgia. Same thing they said about Philadelphia. He would not have won Philadelphia either if Black people didn't choose the couch, or the Black people that did vote for Trump. She would be the president-elect right now. She would have won the battleground states if Black folks in Michigan and all of them came out and actually voted for Harris, okay? So Black folks is the reason why she didn't win that election. It wasn't, they try to make it. So see, the mainstream media, what they're going to try to do is say, oh, it's the Hispanics. It's the Hispanics. Oh, it was them. It was this, because they never really want to tell you what your true position of power is in America. You are the ultimate swing vote. If you sit home, Republicans win. If you show up and mobilize and go vote Democrat, Democrats win. It's just that simple. And they're going to have to accept that. It don't matter how much money Harris spent, because Black folks went out there and voted for her behind. Nobody wouldn't care about the $2 billion and what she did with it. Only because she lost is why people care about it. So let's go on and get into this. I'm going to get to my other screen here. Shout out to, and make sure those of you who are here, make sure you subscribe, because I was looking at my analytics, and a lot of people watching who aren't subscribed. Just hit the subscribe button. That way you know when we post something. Not only myself, but all the wonderful and great journalists that's here from Canada to the African continent to the good old US of A. Hey, everybody's putting in some good work here, right? So I want you to make sure to get it. So make sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family about it. All right, so we're going to start with this article here first, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get this up on the screen. Where are we at? Hold on. Where are we at? I'm trying to look for my article. Give me a second here. Am I missing something? Okay. Boom. Sorry. Perfect. All right. So Carville, Harris's campaign unfathomable. Spending hurt Democrats. All right. So James Carville was critical of Vice President Harris' campaign this week, saying unfathomable spending could hurt the Democratic brand and lead to regular audits. So I guess before y'all wasn't doing audits, he said the resistance is going to have troubles raising money. These fundraisers are burnt. He said Carville said during the Thanksgiving Day episode of Politics War Room. He said they're really pissed now. And the damage that the 2024 campaign has done, that the damage that this decade has done to the Democratic brand is almost unfathomable, Now, Carville's comments comes as Harris' campaign spending has come under scrutiny in the aftermath of her loss to President-elect Trump in the general election earlier this month. It said the campaign raised nearly $1.5 billion, Harris told donors and the Democratic National Committee's finance directors during a call Tuesday. Despite the fundraising, reports have emerged that the campaign has a debt of $20 million, claims they have denied. They say the DNC is set to hold leadership elections in February, less than 2 weeks after Trump is inaugurated. During the recent podcast, Carville noted that people had asked him to throw his hat in the ring, though he suggested a bid wasn't on his to-do list. Still, he said the campaign's finances, would most likely be audited. They say amid concerns. He said, I would like to say the policy number one is we're going to audit everything. We're going to audit the campaign. He said that while specifically pointing to pro-Harris super PACs, that we're going to audit Future Forward. We're going to audit the DNC so people can know. Okay. So all this money that they was raising and spending, and let me get back on the screen and say something real quick. All that money they spending and they lost. They lost. Let me say something. Democrat Shields, can y'all come on in the building, please? Can you come to the front? Let me talk to you. They're gonna audit where all this money went, Democrat Shields and Al Sharpton. They're gonna look in that audit and they're gonna say $500,000 was given to you and you didn't bring the black vote. They're gonna look at Boulay Martin. They're going to say, wait a minute, $350,000 was given to Boulay Martin, and he didn't help deliver the black vote. Actually, when we do our research on the Boulay Martin, they're going to do their research on all these people they've been giving money to test the temperature of what they got going on. Understand? They're going to look and say, wait a minute, Boulay Martin, he don't have the temperature of black people. Why in the hell are we giving him even $2? They're going to look at Al Sharpton and say, this dude is a civil rights relic. He's still talking civil rights movement talk. These young people not on that. The Democrats, I'm telling you, when they do their audit, that money is going to dry up to the point they're not going to be able to get a quarter. And rightfully so for the Democrats to do that. This is why you seeing people like Angela Rye and the gang being so nervous, and it's not because of Trump. No, they lived through Trump. Trump only got 4 years, and Trump is out. That's it, okay? He's gone. No, these Shields that's been getting their little bag every 2 years or so, because you got your midterms come up, then you got your presidency. So every 2 years they come back out, they get their checks, and then they go back on down where they was at. And I guess them checks is good for the 2 years, and they come on back up. Well, them checks about to dry up because they have no temperature on the black community. You understand? But Democrats, see, this is what you get. Let me tell you something. Black folk told you we need some tangibles. That's the only thing we asked for. Give us something, man. We asking for an anti-black hate crime bill. If we asking for reparations, many things, right? If you say, okay, I can't do reparations, but you know what? I can do the anti-black hate crime bill that's going to prioritize black Americans from hate crimes. If you would have did that, if you would even have did that right there, Kamala Harris would be the president because y'all would have did something during their presidency for black people. We still will work on the rest of it, but even if you did an anti-black hate crime bill, Democrats have been good. If Gavin Newsom wouldn't have pulled that stunt in California, sabotaging reparations, I think the Democrats could have won the election if they'd have did reparations to California and then took that on and say, you know what, we're going to do that on the federal level. If we get in, we're going to do this. We committed to doing this, and it's all in the Democrat Party. Democrats could have won. See, Democrats, what you're going to try to do, and I keep telling y'all this, you're going to try to take on the language of Trump, and you're going to try to sound like Trump liked a little bit. And we already know you got your racism as black people. We see you. We've been peep you. That's why you don't do nothing for black people, because you're racist. You do something for everybody else, and then the killing part about it, you do something for everybody else, and yet they don't show up for you. Think about it. You talk about the Hispanic vote. Let's talk about that. Y'all have done the most for the Hispanic community. Y'all have let them in here. Y'all prefer white. Let's call it the truth. Let's tell the truth. Y'all prefer them over black people in hiring. Y'all prefer them to work illegally. The Democrats are protecting them still to this day. But when it's time to vote, they voted more for Trump. They didn't vote for you. Trump is not promising to give them anything like the Democrats. I mean, if think about it. If the Democrats did for black people, like have sanctuary cities for black people where we're protected in the city, they're going to give us free food, free hotel, job fairs. We not going to go to jail when we commit crimes. Black folks would probably vote for you 100% because, like, wow, man, the Democrats are literally roll out the red carpet for us. Right? But every time y'all do for these other people, look at the Asian community. Y'all sat up there and gave them a hate crime bill. The Asians did not show up for Democrats. And neither do y'all come out and tell these people, hey, I did something for you. Why haven't you came out and vote? You didn't hear Harris wagging her finger, or Obama, at the Asian community or the Hispanic community. They do so much for those communities. The East Indians, they do so much for those communities. And yet they do so much and they don't even vote for them. They go vote for Trump or they go vote for Republicans. And they say, oh, because this economy is this and the third. Look, yes, but if you're doing a lot for me, I'm going to kind of stick with the people that's doing a lot for me. And the people that's telling you, hey, just do something for us. Do for us what you do for these other groups. Once again, they would be in office right now. She would be President-elect Kamala Harris right now. Because you know what? These other groups, they don't even know how to mobilize. They don't know how to mobilize to vote like us. And if they go mobilize, they copy our movements. They don't have the political capital. They don't have the cultural capital that we have in this country. And a lot of reason why y'all lost is because you pissed off the cultural people in this country that know how to sway people based on the gift of gab. Other groups don't have that. They just really don't. Now, Trump, he's pretty good at selling himself. What makes people gravitate to Trump, he let his yes be yes and no be no when he's in office. So you can respect somebody like that versus a lot of you politicians. You say one thing. I was telling my daughter today, we was having a conversation. I was explaining to her how politicians talk. We was having that conversation. And I say most politicians, if you ask them what color is the sky, now the answer would be blue. I say, but most politicians like, well, you know, I mean, the sky, it could be, you know, it depends on how you're looking at it, what color it could be. One person could think it's this color. One person could think it's that color. So it's more so off of perception of what the sky looks like to maybe you or maybe somebody else. Like, I didn't ask you all that. I just asked you, what color is the sky? Is it blue? Yes or no? I didn't ask you all that. So I'm teaching my child early about how these people lie. You know what I'm saying? And teaching her how to focus her attention on what the question is you ask. Because I told her, if you want to take my job, then I got to get you prepared to take my job. Right? Start early with your kids. Start early. And instead of them learning what Sexy Red talking about, teach them, the things and the skills they need to know. Okay? Yeah, the sky has 57 genders. Yeah, that sort of thing, right? Oh, that's crazy. That's why I use that a lot today, too. When people want to argue with me about I'm this and I'm that and I'm from here. I say, I don't argue with y'all about who you say you are. If I live in a country when they say it's 100 different genders, and I saw that on local TV right here in Houston, talking about 100 different genders, I say, look, I ain't arguing with none of y'all because I am not educated in the area of mental health to be arguing with any of you. If you say you a cat, dog, if you say whatever you are, I'm going to go with it because I ain't got time to deal with, listen, I'm sorry. A lot of these people got mental health issues that run around here and not diagnosed, okay? I'm not educated in that, and neither do I want to be in mental health issues other than the little bit I do know, right? Well, let's go ahead and continue. Let's continue. All right. So he continued to say, but I'm telling you without complete transparency, the campaign we think raised $1.5 billion. Okay, we know the future forward. The last we saw was $900 million. So we can assume that they got $1 billion before the election. You say that's $2.5 freaking billion. He added, does anybody have any idea where the money went? I mean, I have some places I can start looking. Boulay Martin, they calling your name. Boulay Martin, come to the front, please. Why you needed $350,000 to run some ads? It don't cost that much. Said Carville, who served as a senior advisor to President Clinton, said during Thursday's interview that the amount of money and the amount of lobbyists that were involved in the campaign is staggering. Okay, so he said while he predicted that Harris would win the 2024 contest seat, and that's the thing, he's supposed to be. Hold on, let me get back on camera. And see, this is why y'all lose money. You supposed to be a strategist, and you cannot figure out the temperature to see if she was going to win or not. James Carville, you really thought her running around here bringing a Planned Parenthood bus to the DNC so people can sterilize themselves? You really thought a woman running around here talking about abortion all day when people are hurting at the grocery store? You really thought that a woman that didn't want to take an interview when she first got in at all, she was just hiding herself. You really thought that lady was going to win the election? That lady. Like, first of all, they want to lie about her identity. Let's call it what it is. She could be a nice lady. She could be funny. I think maybe she's a nice lady. I don't know. I've heard working for her is not as easy because I heard she's kind of, she's mouthy and she kind of go in on people. So I don't know if she's a nice lady or not. That's just kind of what I heard about her. Now people that work with me, I have never yelled at nobody that's worked with me. Even when something has been wrong or something that has somebody done something wrong, you don't have to yell at nobody that work with you. That shows that you have no control. I mean, even if it's to a point that, for instance, let's say you got to depart for whatever the reason, you still don't have to yell at somebody. You don't have to talk down to anybody. It's like you heard that she, talked down to one of her campaign staffers and had them crying and all that. There's no reason to make nobody cry. It lets me know that you're not in control because I'm sorry. Yes, I have people around me that say, hey, Phil, I think you should do this, do that, do this, do that, right? But they can't do everything for you. You still got to think for yourself. It will still hurt campaign. Even if you got people who's experts at this and that and the third, it's still your job to read the temperature of the room and see what's going on. These people can help you. And it didn't take billions of dollars to run a campaign. I'm sorry, it didn't take all that. Trump didn't spend that kind of money. But let me continue because I got another group of people I need to talk to, too, about this election. Not just the Democrats. I got to talk to some of these Republican people, too, because they thinking they won something, and I got to let them know the truth about why they even talking about the election. All right, so the next one. Carville calls for audit of Harris campaign spending. All right. So as we talked about here before, they want to audit the Harris campaign with the help of the Democrat Party raise over $1 billion during this year election cycle, according to the AP. Despite her remarkable financial backing, which accumulated in a few short months after President Joe Biden dropped out the race, Harris lost November 5th to President-elect Donald Trump. Groups affiliated with Trump and the Republican National Committee, meanwhile, raised over $1.8 billion. Now Carville wants to know, do you have any idea where the money went? He said, which wasn't geared toward any particular. He said, was asked during the episode of the podcast, which Carville hosts with renowned journalist Al Hunt. Now, they saying this in multiple outlets. So it's a Newsweek and many others, right? They keep asking where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Now, let me say something else. Why y'all? Oh, you're talking about Sexy Red? Speaking about Sexy Red, no, Sexy Red is very relevant to young people. You just not that age. But anyway, let me talk to some. I've seen some of these young white guys. They feel like they won the Super Bowl with this election. Okay. Let me talk to these young white guys about, some of you Republicans. Let me have a conversation with you. I really need to straighten you out because you got something twisted about this election. Some of you are saying, "Oh, we're back. Oh, white people are back. Oh, the Miss Universe, a blonde hair white woman won. Oh, we're back." And this and the third. If it took an election to make you feel like you're back, you was never there in the first place. That's number one. Number two, the only reason Donald Trump won, I want to be very clear on this. Why he won, the economy. That's one of the big things. Immigration. It has nothing to do with you or your ideals. A lot of black people sat it out. That's why Trump won as well. Okay, and some black people voted third party or whatever. They didn't vote for your ideals or whatever. And I will tell you this, if you start being stupid and getting stupid, you're not going to win an election. Because remember, black people control who's in office. We're talking about at least on the federal level with the president. If black folks decided to get up and mobilize against you, and black folks, we're great at doing that, black folks will literally get you right back out of there. So don't get comfortable. Don't act like you won something. Don't act like everybody is cool with white supremacy or something like that. Don't think that some black folks that voted for Donald Trump is throwing away the fight for, black people's rights and fighting for what we need in America. No. None of that goes away. We would definitely want to put some money in our pocket. We definitely want the illegal immigration thing taken care of, for sure. But don't get it twisted like you won something, because you didn't win anything. And you better believe this. If you piss black folks off, I'm telling you what would happen. If you piss off black folks, then midterms, Trump will be done. If you piss black folks off. So you need to stay in line, act like you got some common sense. Don't act stupid for about 2 years. And maybe Trump could maybe do a little bit. But if you act stupid, you're going to mobilize black folks, and then they're going to come out in the midterms and mess you up. Because once they mess him up in Congress or something like that, he's done. He can't really do a whole lot. And he only got one term. He done after that, okay? Just don't get too excited and get stupid. I'm telling you, what you just so-called happy about, it won't last long. Remember, in order for you to win, black folks got to not participate. If black folks participate, you never win. What I'm saying to black folks is we also let Democrats know that too. Say, hey, you see how Trump and them over there won all that? Why they won? Because we decided to not participate with you. Either we voted against you or we sat it out. So Democrats, this is the question. After y'all do y'all audits and all that, and y'all figure out, who y'all gave money to and all that sort of thing, right? I'm still trying to figure out how Boulay Martin got $350,000 for some ads to run on your YouTube show. That's not $350,000 worth of anything. Or interview, That's not $350,000. I'm trying to figure out why he got $350,000. I'm just talking about like the logic of it. Al Sharpton, why did he get $500,000? Now, you giving people money to put things on TV, that's expensive. I get that. I really do. But what Al Sharpton was going to do, he actually got more money than Boulay Martin. At least Boulay Martin could at least do some interviews with her or whatever. Maybe he could, highlight her, do something. I mean, he was crashing out, so I guess that was worth something. But after y'all do all y'all looking into an audit or whatever, are you going to audit your policy for how y'all treat black folk? Is that audit going to come up? That audit actually needs to be first before you audit the money. Because what are you going to do? Okay, now you audit the money. You know where all the money went, right? Cool. You know where it's at. Now you figured out where all the money went, and you still going to have a problem. You got a black problem. The civil rights generation is not in mass like they used to be. Every election, you losing more and more of those voters. You had one playbook that worked. You have to change playbook, and you got to give black folks something. If you do not give black folks anything, Democrats, listen to me. If you don't give black folks anything, you're going to keep losing. I'm telling you, you're going to keep losing. We have nothing to lose by sitting out. We actually have nothing to lose even vote for the other side because we wasn't getting nothing anyway. So Trump going to do this and Trump going to do that. You didn't do nothing for us either. So at least if Trump and them in there, at least they going to mass deportation. Hey, I'm cool with that. You about mass illegal immigration. No. And you will put these people in our areas, our neighborhoods, the cities where we reside. You give them resources so they can get above black Americans. This is what you do, and they don't even vote for you. Why would black Americans keep on accepting that treatment like that? You might well go vote for the Republicans then. At least they're going to get them out. At least that much. Y'all sitting up here pushing all this trans this and all of that. Hey, the Republicans not pushing that. Now, some black folks say, I ain't voting for no Republicans, so I'm just going to sit it out. Regardless, that's not a vote for you. And you cannot win. You cannot win without black folks. I know you've been trying to build this coalition with Latinos. It's not going to work. Because the Latinos in this country come from multiple places. That's what y'all don't understand. See, black Americans, we have a shared history here. So even though we are not a monolith, but in one instance, we are a monolith on certain things as a community. So when you say the black community here in America, even though we got black immigrants that come from different places, they're a minority. They're not the majority. So the black community, you can kind of say, okay, the black community do this, that, and the third. When you look at Latinos, you look at Asians and all these different other people that come here, they come from different countries, different ideologies. They want different. Most of these people coming here are economic immigrants. They're economic immigrants. They did not build this country. They come here to get a bag. All of them. Black folks been here without a bag. Some of us got it. Cool. But a lot of people don't. We here for the long haul because it's like what they say. Where else black Americans gonna go? We have not have no invitation. They say, hey, black Americans, come here. When you hit the soil, you got a citizenship. We don't have that in no other country in the world. America is where it's at for us. Now, of course, we could choose to go live in another country if we would want to, but we're going through the process no different than white people, even in the continent of Africa. We can't even show up there and just say, hey, I'm here. Can I have my citizenship? No. Unless you go through something like business or you're marrying somebody. Yeah, it's a process. You can do it. Sure, you can. But, okay, if you're not looking to get married because you already got a wife or a husband, then what? You're not a business person, then what? You know what I'm saying? So we're here. And because you have neglected black Americans, that's why the black Americans are neglecting you, Democrats. And y'all can sit up here and try to shame and Trump, all this, all that. Listen, especially some of you older gentlemen who's getting online. And I don't know why my name is coming up in certain things, different platforms. Look, especially some of you older gentlemen who's making videos about a lot of us younger brothers and sisters out here. The reason why we're doing all this because you failed. You failed. You failed the black community. There's no reason why people like myself and other brothers and sisters have to be fighting certain things when you failed. See, you had the ball. After the civil rights movement, y'all had it, okay? But y'all decided to put the work down. Y'all decided to go party and BS, to get high, to go lay up with Becky and Brad, walk away from your black businesses, walk away from your black schools, integrate into their society, and integrating into their society has been the worst thing for black Americans. That's why our kids are crazy now, because we are not the same. Every group of people are different. And that's why in God's great wisdom, he put people with their particular communities and cultures in certain lands for a reason. Not to say you can't get along with people, not to say you can't trade with people, not to say you can't visit with people, but let's call it what it is. God put us in different areas for a reason and with people for a reason. So the American experiment of the melting pot is really why you have so much tension and trouble, even though in the African countries, they have tensions and troubles too. Yes, they do. Asian countries have it or whatever. But this one is based on the differences of culture always clashing. At least if you go in an African country, Asian country, they have a dominant culture. And everybody's cool with the dominant culture because they're the dominant people. Here, you have so many people with all these different ideologies and cultures, and you got the folks trying to lord and reign over people with their culture, and their culture don't work for definitely black folks. It definitely don't work. And the black folks that try to take on their culture, that's why they just kind of lose their mind, a lot of them, because that's not our people and that's not our culture. We have our own black American culture and values, and the black people I see that's gotten away from it, it never works out good for them. That's why I'm going to hold dear to my black American culture, my black American heritage, what I was taught by the older people, whether it's my grandma, grandpa, my parents, excuse me. I'm going to hold close to that because that is the building blocks of who I am in my character and even what I would do. Because of the way I was raised, there's certain things I won't do or I won't even say. Because of what was raised in us as black Americans versus, give you an example. In our culture, we don't sit up here and cuss out our mama and our daddy. But then you go look at Connor and them over there, F you, mom. And they laugh about it. Now, at one point in time in our culture, for the most part, we know that's not with the business. But then you look at some of these younger ones that's been so integrated. Now you see they little kids is cussing they mama and them out and they laughing about it. They thinking it's funny. And when I sit down, I say, boy, we have listen, y'all, we really need to get back to being in our own communities and raising our children and educating our children with our culture and our values for the sake of our culture. I'm telling you, because last night when I was at the awards show, they had this teacher. The sister name was Diane Merchant. And the sister really was homing in on the parents and the kids about how they used to be when it came to education. And then now you look at it today and how the parents don't care. The kids, like a lot of times they don't care. She said COVID did a number on a lot of the kids, but to me, it's bigger than COVID. It's way bigger than that. I really believe that now we won't mention Joe Biden. The Democrat Joe Biden and the Democrat Bill Clinton, that crime bill in 1994, in my opinion, was the atomic bomb that created the problem. Way before COVID-19. Because when they start snatching black people out the home, let's call it what it is. Not every crackhead was a crackhead that was just, if anybody know about crackheads, you know how they move. They actually had functional crackheads, just like you got functional alcoholics. What I mean by that, you have functional crackheads that actually would go to work, pay their bills, raise their kids, be in there with they women, right? Yeah, they get high, but they knew how to control it in a way it didn't affect anything. They wasn't stealing from nobody. They were just, hey, that's just what I did. Well, when they start, and I remember when it happened, when 12 start running up in everybody's house, talking about, raids and all this stuff, you broke a lot of families up. But yet these folks, his son, Biden's son, Hunter, was a freaking drug head, and he ain't spent a day in jail. You still got black people right now that's in state jail or federal jail from the crack era. Still people in jail. That would hurt our community more. You talking about the single parenting epidemic? A lot of that happened because of that, and now because it's we don't have the shame we used to have. Like, for instance, at one point in time, and I remember it, and like I said, I'm talking like I'm 70, 80. I remember when it was still some shame with that. It was still some shame that you didn't want to go lay up and just go have some babies somewhere, like you say, out of wedlock children. You didn't want to do that because that was a bad look. You understand what I'm saying? You didn't want to mark yourself up full of tattoos and all of that because you didn't want a certain look because it was embarrassing to look like that, right? I mean, today we are, and it's not all of us are doing this, of course not. But what you see today is just so shameful. And you look at the younger people, some of them, hey, do you notice, especially some of these Gen Zers, a lot of them looking older than me. And I'm in my 40s. And I'm like the old people say, they living hard. These young kids are living hard. They don't have the right guidance, unfortunately. They drinking everything. They taking pills. They smoking this, smoking that. They don't have no guidance. They don't have no uncles out there, no aunties. Cause some of the aunties try to talk to these young girls and they can't. They can't because they disrespectful. Some of the uncles try to holler at these young brothers. You can't because some of them are disrespectful, right? Now, I'm not saying all young people are disrespectful. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you can't just really randomly pull a young brother or young sister to the side and give them game unless you really peep them. Like really peep, like, okay, they, reading it, like, can I talk to this one? Can I give this one some advice or whatever, just as an uncle right now? Or as an auntie, can I do that? Because there are so many older people that pull me to the side and give me game. And I soak it up. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah. I appreciate that knowledge and the information. Because if I can prevent something like making a mistake that they made by them just giving me some advice on something, man, I want that information. Give it to me. Yeah, you say it's parental failure. Yeah, but I notice when we as a community start going to all the, I'm going to say this much. And I've been around a lot of different cultures. I still say the folks culture is the one that's just it's detrimental for us just to immerse ourselves into. I've definitely been around Hispanics. You can find some similarities in their culture and ours. Asians, been around them. You can find some similarities here and there with Asians. East Indians, I haven't really been around, immersed into them like that. But if you look at this kind of from the outside looking in their culture, they believe in the traditional family. You don't see a bunch of East Indian women all marked up and tatted up. They're really traditional from what I see, right? Which I respect that. The Arabs, kind of same thing. I've talked to Arabs and things like that. You can relate to some things that Arabs are talking about or whatever, right? But when it comes to the folks, this is the issue with the folks that I've seen versus other groups. They're way too liberal. And I'm not talking about Democrat, Republican. They're way too liberal in their like nothing is no boundaries. You can just do whatever you want, right? And that's the dangerous part. And I think that's what hurt our community, is getting exposed to that you can do whatever you want type of deal, versus when we couldn't be around that for Jim Crow, whatever the case may be. We had to stay more in our culture. Notice the kind of people that we produce. Notice in our culture how many inventors we produced. Look at all the great inventions Black Americans innovated this country, right? Think about the time period and where these Black people were at. They were born and raised in the Black community, in our culture that breeds greatness, versus they may pluck them out of the Black community, put them in an elite college, but they go to elite college, they may open a business or a job, but what are they actually innovating? Where's our inventions? Where's our inventors? You know what I'm saying? Now, at the same time, they don't want to fund. This is the key. They don't want to fund our intelligent brothers and sisters. They rather pluck them out of the community and put them on a job. They don't want to fund them to do their own. So they rather take an Afrikaner from South Africa, right, whose family made money off of Black people during apartheid, bring that Afrikaner over here, place him here, and now this Afrikaner, who has a deep history of apartheid, give him all these government contracts. He can do, if all the money given to Elon Musk, any smart brother and sister can do something great with all that money, right? That dude is not, he's so much of a genius. No, they've given this dude so much money. This guy has a lot of government contracts. This guy come from money anyway. And he don't want to be back in South Africa. He don't want to be there. He want to be here. There's so many talented brothers and sisters. That's why sometimes it frustrates me about our community. I ain't gonna lie, because you look at what we spend money on as a community, and we know we have to do it on our own. And yet we so much of a consumer. That's why during COVID, we saved a lot of money because we couldn't go consume. You couldn't go buy you couldn't go do the nails and the toes and the hair, and you couldn't go spend money on just restaurants. And so a lot of people had money, especially Black folks. A lot of people had money. A lot of people had money. And when we have certain things as a community, it's like you try to say, hey, support this, support that, do this, do that. I understand you still got to deliver a service. Don't get me wrong. But we just don't do as we should. Then when you get to Democrats in office, they don't fight for us to have what we need either. But they make sure to fight for the migrants. Do you know California right now is having a special session? Let me tell you what the special session is about. Is it about reparations? No. What it's about, they want to build a $25 million legal defense fund of state money to fight Trump because they want to protect the undocumented migrants. That's what they say. So they want to take tax dollars and defend people, have a legal war chest to defend people who have a homeland to go to. They're going to take Black people's tax dollars. Now, where's the white people? White people from California, could you come up to the front, please? I need to talk to white people from California. The white people that say you don't want your tax dollars being paid to reparations, right? Didn't you say that? You had nothing to do with that. Why should you have to pay, right? Okay, cool. Well, where's white people that are going to protest about your tax dollars going to a $25 million legal defense fund so they can sue and fight Trump to protect illegal immigrants? Now, white people in California, you should be outraged. The same rage that you have when we talk about reparations in the form of cash payments. The Asians that say they didn't agree with reparations, the Hispanics that agree with reparations. Where are y'all at to fight Gavin Newsom about your tax dollars being spent on court cases that has nothing to do with you? This is your tax dollars. You don't want it to go to reparations for people that are actually citizens of this country and will take that money and put that money back into the community in businesses. Some of y'all businesses too. Let's call it what it is. The black folks gonna spend money with the white people in California and the Asians and the Hispanics and some blacks too. But that reparations money will go right back into a lot of y'all's businesses. But y'all don't see it that way because of your racism, because a lot of you are anti-black racists. I understand that. You can't stand the black folks will give them 5 cents more than you. You'll fight that. The reason why we don't have universal health care in America is because of anti-black racism, because they don't want black people to get it. Trust me, if they had a way for the folks to get universal health care and black folk couldn't get it, they would vote for it tomorrow. You don't have universal health care like a lot of countries have universal health care. You don't have, you're still fighting for insurance and paying with insurance and all that mess when other countries can just go to the doctor, or your health care is inexpensive enough where it doesn't matter. Americans have to travel sometime. Americans that have at least a little money has to travel out this country just to save money on health care. Oh, God. Lee Hub says the defiant lawyers. Oh, you talking about that gentleman? Okay. Well, look, that gentleman, I shouldn't have to be saying anything. If that gentleman would have done his job and provided a way for people like myself to not have to deal with the problems we're dealing with today. See, it's people like him. It's his fault because they was welcoming in all these migrants. They was fighting for these migrants, them, Jesse Jackson and all those black folks, right? And now we got a problem on our hands. The migrants has came in. A lot of them are hostile toward black people. And we're fighting a problem that people like him welcomed in. They didn't fight for black people. They didn't say, hey, we need to fight for more black money to build our businesses. We need to definitely get some real black political representation that's going to fight for the black community. No, when you get representation, you're fighting for immigration. And they gave you what you wanted. And now we're fighting the fight. And then you got people like that gentleman have a problem with black folks saying, nah, I'm not cool with illegal immigration with Trump at. We wouldn't have this problem right now if you'd have focused on the black community, if you'd have been Black America first. We wouldn't have this problem. Trump probably would have never came along if y'all wasn't advocating for immigration. And the Congressional Black Caucus is still advocating for immigration. Talking about mass deportations, a black problem. The hell it is. And it's the deal here. Calling people out and all this sort of thing. That's sad. I don't want to be his age trying to call out a young man. If I get to that man's age, he got to be at least in his 60s, maybe. By that time, I'm not worrying with a whole lot of y'all. I'm not saying I'm not going to be doing what I'm doing, but I'm not worrying about nobody. Look, I'm not about to get involved with somebody 20 years, 30 years younger than me got going on. I mean, I'm transcended some things at that point. Hopefully, Lord bless, by that age, I have my beachfront property. I'm chilling. I want to do more chilling. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to fight with the people. I wouldn't care nothing about no Democrat. At his age, I'm not worried about no Democrat or Republican. I'm barely sometimes worried about it now. Because I believe you should be able to retire by 55 if you would like to. I'm not there yet. But what I'm saying is I'm not about to be worrying about that. That gentleman failed. And he's still holding on to a Democrat Party that's failed him. If I'm in my 60s, scared about anything at that point, like, bro, don't worry about that crap. Man, I should have set myself up. I'm for surely not looking to no white man's party, whether it's Democrat or Republican, that's their party, to do anything for me. I'm supposed to set my life up. I'm supposed to be having my kids set up, well, at least do what I can, set my kids up. My kids make their own choices at that point. But yeah, I want to have my beachfront property. I don't know. I may not be in America at that point. I don't know. Because sometimes I don't want to deal with all these different folks and their cultures and all that. Sometimes I just want to deal with black folk. Or just get in the area where it's more of us at. Now, Houston got a lot of black people, don't get me wrong. Atlanta got black people. I mean, you know, but sometimes I want to be just in a black country sometime. Well, I don't want to deal with hardly none of that. None of the folks or anything. Trust me, believe it or not, it is a relief not being around the folks like that. When they're not in the majority, they actually act a little better when they're in the minority, from my experience. Keisha say, you retired, you ain't worrying about nothing, you definitely not worrying about being deported. Yeah. You're retired, you're supposed to be relaxing, you're supposed to be traveling, you're supposed to be, you know, a foodie, you're supposed to be seeing all the beaches, taking cruises, you know, I mean, you like dancing, you're supposed to go dance, and you don't supposed to be stressing yourself out at all. You're supposed to be enjoying your life. Please. I mean, of course, you see what's going on in the country, of course. You know, but you're not tripping on any of that. You know, okay, yeah, I see it. You know, okay, I vote here and there. That's why, you know, whatever. But, you know, that man, you say you're retiring in Arizona? What city in Arizona you retiring to? You say you glad you're near Detroit? Yeah, Detroit, you know, what the black folks said, like I said, you know, I cannot be in there. I don't see how any black person live in them areas where it's like no black people. I can't do it, because just my experience of going in a place like that, like when I went to Wheeling, West Virginia, the food is not good. I mean, it's just no soul. I'm like, oh, no, I couldn't. And that's why my daughter couldn't stay up there. I know that's why, because she's like, I have to go to school back home. I can't be here. I can't be here. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's just, you come from Houston where all your people at, and you go to a place like that. There was another lady I talked to that was living down here, where I actually used to work with my wife, and she ended having to go up there to Iowa, and we've seen her over the Thanksgiving, and I say, how is it up there? And she's like, boring. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry. I have to be around. I'd be around my people. I have some proximity to my people. I'm sorry. I can't do it. You know, you got black folks that go live in Europe and be in these European towns. I don't see how you do it. God bless you. Because some of y'all, you know, a culture to be around that, not me. I grew up in Port Arthur, where there's a lot of black folk. Beaumont, a lot of black folk. So I'm cool with that. I'm cool. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and wrap this up. Ethiopia trip coming up in March. I think March 31 through April 9. Some of you may, somebody asked about that and say, hey, I still cannot go on that. And you want to go ahead and you got the money to pay in full to go. Just send us go to the contact form and just send us a line about that, and I'll connect you with Kellen and all them, and then they can get you straight. Because some of you, you got it like that. So yeah, I feel like going, and you just swipe that card and you good to go. Trust me. Listen, not everybody. I've met you. Not everybody is like kind of working class. No, you got some ballers that be watching this show. Trust me, I've met you, and you ain't got to be a baller, but some people just say their money the right way, because they got. I think some people, they work their jobs and just say their money. They don't blow it. They say, man, I don't be buying expensive cars. I don't eat in the restaurant. I save my money. That way I want to go on vacation, I can, So if you're interested, yeah, shoot us a line. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure that you click the subscribe button. That's free. Make sure you click the like button. That's free too. And make sure you download the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Once you do that, hit create account, and you can choose monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Take advantage right now while the coupon code is still working. It's CYBER, CYBER, and you'll get 25% off. If you do yearly, you take more advantage of that with the yearly, right? So thank y'all for listening. Make sure you join us at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Phil Scott Podcast. We're talking about Biden, and we'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.